All right, guys, Chris Clothier, REI Nation, back with you again, wrapping up with two final videos on our kind of tour through the cities of where we operate. And I think I'm going to have a bonus for you at the very end, another video, but this one's going to be just kind of a wrap up and talking about future markets, because you may be interested in investing in other markets that we're not in. Love to break it down a little bit for you and tell you a little bit about what we know and what I think. So before I get there, I want to talk about Missouri and Arkansas, specifically St. Louis and Little Rock. These two markets are two of the newer markets for us, meaning we've been in there for about 5 years now, and we love them. We have today, I think we're managing roughly 1,500 properties between the two markets, maybe a few, maybe a few less, but it is, we like these two markets for a lot of reasons. The biggest reasons is that they're just, again, those blue collar, middle of the country, consistent, kind of markets that aren't going to experience these big swings up and down in valuation, big swings up and down in demand from a rental side. They just don't do that. They're slow and steady, what we call unsexy markets. There's nothing that's particularly, like I got to be there because the valuations just jump and I can make, big dollars quick. No, these are the kind of markets that smart investors like you guys add to your portfolio because, hey, I can pick them up one or two at a time and just set them. I'm not going to lose money. They eventually go up in value while a resident pays down my principal. I make my return while I've got an asset going up. So I love these two markets. Let's talk about the drivers, the market drivers that make them go. Did you know that this blows me away. 40% of the nation's population and the buying power, the dollars, is within a 550-mile radius of Little Rock, Arkansas. It's almost dead center of the country. You have from Dallas and Houston and San Antonio up through Chicago, across to Atlanta, Indianapolis, of course, St. Louis, Memphis, Little Rock, Oklahoma City. You've got these amazing cities that are within this 550-mile radius within easy reach of Little Rock. So that makes it a prime place for some of the growth in being aerospace, engineering, technology, manufacturing. It's a big manufacturing and transportation hub, just like Memphis. But they're really working hard to diversify. You've got AT&T. You've got their air, rail, water, their interstates. You've got an Air Force base right there in Little Rock. You've got a pretty good collection of smaller, not your Fortune 500 companies, but smaller companies that are looking to be able to move things quickly and get things moving around the country quickly. Verizon Wireless. These companies are located there. Let's shift over to St. Louis for a second. St. Louis, you've got aviation, biotech, chemical, electrical utilities, food and beverage manufacturing, refining, researching, telecommunications, transportation. All of this is located there in St. Louis. That city, the metropolitan area of St. Louis, is almost 3 million people. Unbelievable how big St. Louis is. I go there quite often for soccer, personal side of it, and I love St. Louis. I think it's awesome, especially so unique around all the different metroplexes, the different cities that are all around it. Let's talk pricing real quick because I think that's super important. Neither one of these cities are experiencing like these major population shifts. They're not going through these big growth spurts like you're seeing some down in Texas, but they're solid and reliable. That's again the story of these cities: solid and reliable. The pricing of the houses anywhere from $175 to $250. The housing population in St. Louis is a little bit older. The housing population in Little Rock is not quite as old. But let me tell you what I love, and this is something that protects you as an investor. Don't worry about the older housing. We're not, for one main reason. They do a really strict job over there of enforcement of regulation. I mean, every property that we do in St. Louis must be inspected, not by us, but by the city. That's to get the permit to do the work, and then they're going to inspect afterwards to make sure everything's done properly. They're going to inspect it from the rental side. They're going to make sure that a renter is going to be safe, comfortable. We've done the proper things that we've reached the level of standard that they've set. Which, look, I gotta tip my hat to them. It costs us more. It drives the price up a little bit. But look, as an investor, what more would we want than the city itself saying, look, we don't want a bunch of riffraff coming in here and doing work and not taking care of these properties. We want our residents to have good rental homes. And so they've taken the steps to make sure their aging housing population is brought back to market in a proper, structured way. I could not tip my hat to them more. I think that St. Louis does a fantastic job of this. So don't let the age of the home worry you. So look, big thing in St. Louis is this grassroots effort to drive up people coming back in, public-private partnerships to clean up the areas, do some new construction, to refurbish, kind of revitalize and bring parts of that area back to life. Tourism is booming in St. Louis. There's a lot of tourism jobs up there. So look, I'm a big supporter of St. Louis. The same thing, I'll just end it right here with Little Rock, Arkansas. One of the neat things about Little Rock is the number of government jobs. Now, we don't have a lot of, I'm speaking a tad bit off the cuff. It's not like we go and we try and find the government jobs or the government residents, but I'll put it to you this way. There's a lot of infrastructure, dollars, and attention being paid into the Arkansas market right now. From West Memphis all the way up to Rogers, Arkansas, in the far northwest corner. I'm a big fan. Arkansas also has all these smaller communities like a Jonesboro is just one for instance, that I love. I mean, this is where we're going to be moving to in the future, that this is where housing is affordable. It's close proximity to jobs, either all the way up in St. Louis, across in Illinois, back down in Memphis, over in Little Rock. And we're gonna be operating these areas primarily out of the Little Rock, out of our Little Rock offices. So look, I think that Little Rock has a lot of room to grow. Again, like every other market I've talked about, if you're an investor wanting to diversify, there's nothing wrong with these markets. I love them. They're affordable. They offer a good, solid, long-term investment, very stable. So if you're looking to add again to your portfolio and you haven't already put one of these markets in, I think it's certainly worth a look. Hopefully I helped answer some of your questions about it. If you have more, feel free to ask. Guys, next up, I'm going to bounce over into Alabama, which is our newest markets, and talk a little bit about the universities over there, talk about Rocket. I think it's Rocket City is what they call Huntsville up there, and we got Birmingham. Can't wait to share those cities with you and tell you where our newest markets are. Guys, we'll talk to you soon.